Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening, what we can expect moving forward for NVIDIA after a very nice parabolic move back up to essentially reset this severe oversold condition that we had experienced on NVIDIA after the event that we had not that long ago where NVIDIA sold off extremely aggressively. And guess what? Guess where everyone was panicking? Down here. And guess now where everyone's probably getting ready to FOMO in on NVIDIA? Up here. Classic, right? It happens every single time. But as usual, I'll give you my thoughts moving forward. So if you enjoy, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my thoughts, technical analysis on the charts, updates, etc., I do share these thoughts with my members every single day the market is open, as the market is trading. Obviously, when there's something worth sharing, naturally, for just $3 a month, mainly on Tesla stocks, sometimes other stocks as well when I see opportunities, or for $5 a month. If you're interested, you get access to everything I just said in the first tier, but the second tier will also offer you the NVIDIA daily updates as well every single day. So with that being said and done, let's jump into it. NVIDIA with a beautiful day today, closing up about 4.5%, closing pretty much at $147 per share, which obviously compared to the market is a nice outperformance. Once again, NVIDIA has been having a nice last few days, a little bit better than I even expected. I didn't actually think we'll get up here this fast, but of course we had the news come out about the investment into AI. I think it was what Microsoft, NVIDIA, Oracle, I think it was, and something else that came out from Trump. I guess the Trump admin, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, beautiful, beautiful day, right? NVIDIA with a phenomenal follow through. But we did talk about this target. So let's go over the Fibonacci quickly, right? So take the Fibonacci from this swing high up here to this swing low we had down here. And we talked about the main two levels, even back when we were still trading at about 137. Now I'm a little bit sad because I'm not gonna lie, I sold my cover calls too early. I'll probably have to roll them. But we talked about the main two levels to the upside, especially if we break above this inside day candle, which we did obviously. The first level is of course 144, followed by pretty much today's high, 148, closer to almost $150 per share. Those are the main two Fibonacci's we've been talking about for quite some time. And we actually did reach the second level. I actually thought we would only stop at 144. I actually thought that's what we'll reject and start consolidating a little bit, etc. But of course, the news propelled us even higher. And we came up right into the quote unquote smart money zone where if there's a place for the bears to really start, piling in on NVIDIA, really start to find an opportunity to attack it back down, yeah, this is pretty much it. Yeah, we can go a little bit higher, maybe actually touch 149 or maybe even briefly touch 150, but we're pretty much around that vicinity where, again, if the bears were looking for an opportunity to bring this thing back down, this is not a bad place for them to try and do that. So why is that? Well, of course, like I said, this is the number, a very important Fibonacci resistance, right? This is like, again, if you're short and if you want to short NVIDIA, this is technically your best risk versus reward after this, massive move down, melt back up, and now your opportunities here essentially, right? Very strong Fibonacci resistance level. So, in theory, of course, right? Nothing is guaranteed. On top of that, we're also breaching the Bollinger Bands on the daily. You can see the Bollinger Band on the top over here. Well, we are pretty much at and slightly even above that Bollinger Band, right? So that's another thing I'm a little bit concerned about. And of course, the RSI is now officially entering overbought territory. Like I said many times, especially on NVIDIA, especially when a stock is ultimately going sideways, right? Whenever the stock has been sold on the Bollinger Band, essentially touching the bottom Bollinger Band, excuse me, and the RSI has entered oversold territories, guess what happened? We have bounced. And guess what happened on the opposite end? We've been overbought. Now we didn't touch the upper end of the Bollinger Band here, but the RSI got overbought. Guess what happened? We sold off. Guess what happened up here? We sold off. Guess what happened right around here? RSI overbought, not at the top end of the Bollinger Band, but not super far from it. We sold off. Same thing over here. So the point I'm trying to make is the fact that whenever these two conditions are met, whether it's oversold or overbought, that's where I start taking more caution, of course, right? And we're right there. Now again, this doesn't mean it has to go down to starting tomorrow. It can take time. Maybe go a little bit sideways. Maybe we even go up a little bit more to 149, right? It's not perfect. It's not going to be like a to the cent, to the, oh, it entered overbought and, that's it. Tomorrow it has to be down 5%. No, it's not that easy, of course. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that the risk versus reward, especially if you're just freshly longing this thing up here, yeah, maybe it could work out. Maybe this will be the time it finally breaks out of this massive consolidation. But, it's all about risk reward, right? And the risk reward was essentially down at these levels right here, right? These are the levels that you want to enter. These are the levels that you long to stock, right? When everyone else is panicking, man, that's where you long. And go back to these days, man. I'm telling you, people were panicking. People were freaking out, right? They were definitely freaking out. And now everyone's FOMOing in and excited. You know what that usually means. So again, the overall point I'm just trying to make is the fact that if there's a place to reject, if there's a place for NVIDIA to have some issues and to potentially start, making its way back down, this is it. Now, the question, of course, lies, well, okay, fine. Let's just say it does. Let's say we do cool off from here. Let's say this is the short-term top. Where do we go next? Well, NVIDIA is still strong, though. It's still strong. I'm not expecting it to just crash back down. It could, of course. Maybe we make it all the way back down here to, the mid to low 130s. That is a possibility. I don't, as of right now at least, expect that to happen. But my main expectation on NVIDIA right now will be essentially a move back down to about $141 per share, roughly 140, 141, 142, pretty much the low 140s, potentially the high 130s will be my target for NVIDIA on this potential move back down. Because assuming this is the top and assuming we don't go much higher from here, that will be that 0.382 Fibonacci level that will be traced back down to. And if NVIDIA does hold that 382 level, which is pretty much around that 141-ish range, that'll be very bullish. I actually would view that as extremely bullish if we do only come down this much and we don't go much lower than that and we don't come down to the 618 Fibonacci at around 137. That to me will be ultra bullish, and I think NVIDIA will actually have potentially finally this moment will be the moment where I can maybe finally get that overall massive breakout and actually make convincing fresh all-time highs as opposed to the one that we experienced not that long ago, right? And ultimately the main target for NVIDIA will be, all the way somewhere back up into the 160s sometime in probably February, maybe a run up into earnings. Definitely a possibility. So those are my current main perspectives of NVIDIA. Again, I think it's slightly overbought short term. I think it's a little bit overextended short term. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a pullback. First target is about 141 roughly. Worst case scenario will be about 137, which is that 618 Fibonacci retracement, assuming today's high is pretty much more or less roughly the high. But I do expect that one of those two levels to hold, and I expect us to overall from that point on make our way up higher. That's my current expectation. So, but let's see. Nothing is perfect. We have stochastic crossing, of course, which is great. So that to me tells me that overall momentum should still be pretty damn good on NVIDIA despite a potential pullback. And again, I just view pullbacks from this specific scenario as opportunities. Plain and simple, I just view them as nothing more than opportunities moving forward. Unless, of course, something catastrophic happens, which I don't think it will. But you never know, right? So anyways, that's my main, I would say, overall perspective. I guess the other thing to mention is the fact that, again, these mean reversion lines, right? So for instance, when a stock, well, I guess in this case for NVIDIA, right? Whenever NVIDIA has been too far away from the mean reversion line, essentially on the Bollinger Bands, which is the middle line right here, which happens to also coincide with that EMA band, which is also pretty much right there in the middle as well. Whenever we're too far away above or below it, it's always snapped back. Right here, for instance, how far we were away from it, and the snap back. How far we were away from it here, we snapped back. Same here, far away, we snapped back. Down here, we were pretty far away, we snapped back, right? Now, this is obviously much more effective in a stock that's going sideways, but the point is the fact that, it's been the trend for the last several weeks, even months on NVIDIA. And now we're once again pretty far away from it. So wouldn't be surprised to see a potential snapback to the mean essentially on the lines here, which would, again, depending on how fast it happens, be range from anywhere from between 141 to about 137. That's my main target pullback. Let's see if it happens. Let's see how it plays out. But again, I already know it. Everyone's going to start FOMOing in on NVIDIA here. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe this is finally the breakout. Always a possibility. But in terms of a risk versus reward, it's not something I would bet on personally, right? I mean, there's no reason to bet it on here. I mean, if you wanted to do that and you wanted to long the stock, I mean, why would you not long it at these levels, which I also mentioned back when this was happening? Anyways, that's my thoughts. Those are my perspectives. Let me know what you think down below. And as per usual, actually, let's take a look at options flow. Of course, let's not forget options flow. Let's see how NVIDIA is looking. Extremely bullish, actually. Wow. Very, 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 very bullish options flow on NVIDIA. Phenomenal call flow on NVIDIA, which is, even more reasons for me to believe that overall, I think heading into February, I see no reason to be bearish on NVIDIA. I think the stock will do phenomenal. I view any pullbacks as of right now as nothing more than opportunities on NVIDIA, and hopefully for me to get out of my cover calls. But again, the stock, it's hard to be bearish on the stock overall, despite obviously me being very, very, very short-term bearish with that small little pullback potential coming up soon. But again, any pullbacks it's just opportunities, man. NVIDIA confirmed 82 million bullish flow. It's looking good, man. Stock is looking damn good. So again, don't be scared. Any pullbacks from here, I just view them as opportunities as of right now. Not financial advice, just my opinion. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.